Oh, against my better judgment, I am gonna try to get closer. I'm not sure if it's gonna come through on camera, but since I've been here, specifically in this area, I've been hearing like a creaking or cracking noise. I attempted just to walk a few footsteps right here, and I'm just sinking in instantly. This is roughly 15 to 18 inches of snow, not packed down. At some point, this is all gonna thaw, break off into big chunks, turn into floating icebergs, and probably create some ice jams. This winter has been nothing but frequent snowfalls and well below freezing temperatures. And what we're walking on is from our most recent snowfall just over a week ago, which dumped around 15 to 18 inches. And you can see it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But why are we out here? Well, I'm going to explain that. Now, for well over 2, if not 3 weeks, temperatures have been brutally cold. They've been averaging a high of around 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and lows have been 5 to 10 below zero. And with wind chills, feels much colder than that. But today, Groundhog's Day, February 2nd, is the beginning of a heat wave. Today through Friday, temperatures are supposed to be around 26 to 30 degrees. Still below freezing, but considerably warmer than what we've had over the past few weeks. So I want to take this opportunity to come out, not freeze to death, and to show you several areas that we've been to before during different times of the year. But with the snow and sub-zero temperatures, well, the landscape has changed. It's adapted, it's altered. It looks different than what we've seen before. And we have a few locations that I'm going to be going to, starting with this one right here, which is the most overly used name of a waterfall I've ever heard of, Buttermilk Falls. This one here is near Bear Creek, Pennsylvania, on the way to Whitehaven. We've been here before, and from what I could tell, it looks spectacular. I don't know how close we could get. It is iced over, still flowing beneath the ice, and we have a lot of snow that's hiding the flow of the water as well. So we need to play it careful, but at the same time, appreciate what Mother Nature has done to this area. So if you want to see this and a few other things today, you know what to do. Just come along with me. Now, thankfully, others have been here, so the snow is kind of packed down a little bit, offering a walking trail of sorts. All right, so we have a patch right there. The water is flowing. But once we follow upstream and up the falls, take in that sight. My oh my, is that beautiful. Completely iced over. One little hole right there where we could see and hear the water flowing behind the ice. But that is incredibly thick ice. And like I said, with these sub-zero temperatures, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's a sheer face of ice all the way to over here. It looks like people have traversed up there. I don't have any spikes with me, so I'm not gonna be doing that. We're just gonna check it out in a safe location here. At the same time, I'm gonna get some unique footage with my 360 camera that'll really highlight this area. But just gonna stay silent for a moment, allow you to take it in, see and hear what I'm experiencing right now. Now the snow and ice is so bright, camera is actually making it darker than what it is. So just for this brief moment, I'm going to adjust the exposure to show you what it really looks like here in person, how bright and vibrant it really is. Can't really get too close because I don't know where the ground is and if there's any holes here, but yeah, it slides off. This is about as close as I could get. Honestly, I'd love to get down there and stand in front of it to show you just me in front of it, size comparison and the beauty of it, but not only is that sheer ice down there, which would cause me to slip and fall easily, but if I was to fall through, get wet, not going to be ideal. It would kind of ruin the rest of the day. So what I'm going to do now is get this thing going, and we'll obviously get some footage and look at this place like I've never been able to show it before. So enjoy the following footage. No, against my better judgment, I am gonna try to get closer. My foot already broke through once already. There's other footprints here. I think as long as I stay away from the moving water, I will be okay. It's 23 degrees out, so it's not close to thawing out just yet. But down here though, I could really give you some spectacular shots. Well, I survived, didn't break through, and I think I got some pretty amazing footage, so worth the effort. I'm not sure if it's going to come through on camera, but since I've been here, specifically in this area, I've been hearing like a creaking or cracking noise, maybe like once a minute. I know this is not anywhere close to breaking off, but the sun is hitting it in certain areas, so maybe it's adjusting or shifting a little bit, but I'm going to sit here for a moment in silence. And if it does it, I'll amplify the volume. Maybe you'll hear it as well. So, location number 1, Buttermilk Falls. Spectacular, did not disappoint. We're now gonna head towards Whitehaven to location number 2. So, I'll see you there. Welcome to location number 2. Bit windier here, but check out this view. We're here at the Francis E. Walter Dam, and I've been here on numerous occasions. I've even kayaked here. This is my first time, I believe, ever seeing it frozen over like this. And if you look down there, looks like a little Matchbox toy. It's actually a backhoe clearing the snow. It's so tiny from here, but what a sight. So that is the big air tower. The water intake is beneath that, and that prevents a hydrolock from the water entering into the tunnel, which actually discharges on the other side over here, which we've shown. And we may or may not get down there today, depending on how conditions are. But you can walk directly down there where the water is shooting out of a massive pipe down there. So maybe we'll be adventurous and get down there. But in the meantime, just wanted to show you how this place looks this time of year. There's a few interesting facts I could tell you about it too in just a moment, but I'm gonna come over here to the gate and show you the placards here. See, Francis E. Walter legislator, statesman, patriot, member of Congress from 1933 to 1963 in the 15th District of Pennsylvania, and veteran of World Wars I and II. So it is named after him. Then we have over here another one. Dam and Reservoir, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Philadelphia District. Construction dates from May 1956 to June 1961. And what an incredible site it is. Plenty of photo opportunities here as well. Now, you may be wondering, why is the level down this low? And well, maybe you're not even wondering that if you've never seen it before, but normally the water level is considerably higher, and there's actually a pretty good water line on the air tower, which I will show you. So it is drained every winter, and that's basically for the preparation of the spring thaw, because, well, with all the snow and ice that's here, it is going to melt in just a few months, and they need to allow room for it to rise up and not turn into a dangerous situation. So they do lower it each and every year, specifically closer to the winter time, and allows you access to normally areas you can't get to because they're underwater. So if you saw earlier, there was that red vehicle that was coming down the road, which is actually parked down there. Partway down, you are underwater. Now you could drive all the way down underneath the platform here, where during the summertime, you can. It's under a significant amount of water. So coming here, whether it's spring or winter, you get a completely different environment. And I've kayaked to around the bend back there too. And this is a pretty good sized lake or reservoir, and different parts of it offer different things. There's some nice cliff sides and there's other hiking trails, but many people may not know, but what I learned is that this is responsible for the Lehigh River's water level during the summer months. So the water leading out of here heads into the Lehigh River, which is starting in Whitehaven, going down through Jim Thorpe and Weisport and beyond into, I think, Lehighton. And that is a big tourist area with rafting and kayaking and other summer activities. And if we ever do experience droughts and the river level was to drop too low, obviously businesses like that wouldn't be able to operate. So they use this water here to keep the river level at a minimum depth so they could have these aquatic activities throughout the entire summer. So it's pretty neat to learn that this serves multiple purposes, but basically keeps the activities down closer to Jim Thorpe functional throughout the summer months, regardless of how much rain we do or do not receive. If you look right around there is the water level. So it is down significantly. If you see that level directly over, you could see where the road would be underwater. So that guardrail down there, even where the backhoe is, would be underwater. That's actually a boat launch over there. And typically the boats would launch much closer, up closer to the tree line there. So all these open embankments and rock cliffs and hillsides are normally underwater. Yeah, so right where that vehicle's driving, he would normally be underwater in the summer months. And the water line, as you can see, how deep it normally would be, he would be under quite a bit of water. So that right there is the water line most times. Now if you follow that water line over, basically up around the curve there of the guardrail is where the water line normally would be. So if you launch your kayaks up there, and I've kayaked it and seen the guardrail underwater beneath me, is kind of a unique, interesting, almost creepy sight, like a submerged, lost road, but it is designed like that. And you can see the vehicle, how small it is compared to where we are as I zoom out. And the backhoe down there is just having a good old time playing in the snow. Like I said, it looks like a little RC vehicle or matchbox vehicle. Now I know there's people out there that don't like the cold at all. Anything colder than t-shirt weather is too cold for them. I personally like the cold because, well, there's a bolt in the road. I should probably get that off. Yeah, that could cause a flat tire. I personally like the cold because, well, I get warm really easily. Summertime doesn't take me anything to start sweating. And honestly, I don't care how cold it gets. It could be 0 out. If there's no wind, I'm perfectly fine, especially if I'm moving around, generating body heat. But up here, and times when it's windy, well, the wind just shoots right through your clothes, right through your skin, chills you right down to the bone. So feel free to let me know. Do you like the cold, or do you enjoy warmer climates? Now, I do see footsteps of someone's been down there, but I attempted just to walk a few footsteps right here, and I'm just sinking in instantly. This is roughly 15 to 18 inches of snow, not packed down, and it's gonna be a brutal, miserable walk. So I'm not even gonna bother going down because you have to walk all the way down and then all the way down there. And although I could do it, it's just gonna be so time consuming and wear me out physically that it's not gonna be worth the effort because we've been down there before. I was hoping to get down there and show you a somewhat partially frozen landscape down there, but well, we're just gonna have to do with what we have up here. But what I will do though is take a ride down closer to the bottom to give you a view from below. So we're seeing it from up here. We'll take a ride down and we'll stop somewhere around there, give you a view of what's going on from that location there. Well, now you can see stark contrast from where we were up above there, and it's much less windier down here. It's actually quite nice, and it's really blinding. The snow is so incredibly bright. But now we can see from up above and down closer to the level. And down here though, as I was mentioning, the water line has a distinct cutoff. And once you're down here in person, all you have to do is walk the guardrail and see where the rest is. So basically, right here, the water level ends or begins. So light rust here for higher water conditions, and then much darker, thicker rust down here under normal water conditions, which is in parallel with the line right there on the air chamber. So right where I'm standing, I'd be standing about almost waist height of water. And then where they are down there, well, they're under probably at least 30 feet of water. You know, I'm noticing right down there, the intake is exposed. You can see some concrete bars going down, almost serving as like a screen to stop any large material from going in there, like tree limbs or kayakers, but normally that's underwater. But that's exposed right now. But water, I believe, is still flowing into it as we speak because we saw it discharging the other side. But I never seen that exposed. So this is lower than I've ever seen it my previous visits. But again, normal operation, water level is much higher. That's completely submerged, but still serving the same function. I feel like Mr. Magoo squinting. It's so bright out here. I'm gonna be seeing spots when I'm done. But I said it before, I'll say it again, this is a fantastic location for recreational purposes. Like, they have picnic tables, you could come bring a lunch. They have porta-johns throughout the area. There's some hiking trails. You could do some kayaking here, fishing, bring your fishing boat. If you just want to come and walk and take some pictures, you could do that as well. And although I've been here all different seasons, I personally like it best now when the water level's dropped and everything's visible. It's like a whole different landscape from what you're used to. But there's never a wrong time to come here. So if you're ever in the area, this is not far from, it's really close to Whitehaven, not far from Jim Thorpe, not far from Wilkes-Barre. And you could come summer, winter, see it full, see it empty. And it's one of the rare opportunities you could come to a reservoir legally, that's open to the public, and be able to see what's beneath the surface when they drain it, and what's it look like when it's at capacity. So offers different views, different ample opportunities. And I think I want to come back in the warmer months. It's been a few years since I've been here. May or may not kayak it again, but I think maybe just to kind of walk around, hike some trails, maybe bring some friends here. Because each and every visit I've been here by myself, which I absolutely love. Just kind of do my own thing, take it in. But I know some people that would love to experience this themselves too. So if you do want to see me return and do like a summer visit, well, let me know down in the comments section. There was one other location I was going to take you to on the way here. Is an old stone culvert, which I've documented before, but there's nowhere to pull off to be able to park without blocking the road. The snow along the roadways is over a foot thick, and there's no areas plowed off that you can really pull over. So there is an old stone culvert that was kind of covered in snow and ice. Would have made for some great footage, but I'll have to save that for a future date. So we're gonna leave here now and head to, I guess it'd be location number 3. So I'll see you there. Welcome to location number 3. Any idea where we are? Well, many of you will recognize it in just a moment. And here we are, just in front of the mighty Susquehanna River, looking towards downtown Wilkes-Barre. That is the Market Street Bridge, and Kirby Park just over in that direction for Kingston. And the river is frozen, but not solid. Down the middle, it is still flowing. So there is a river within the river, if that makes sense. Also, I'm not the only one out here checking it out. But it's quite a sight. This is a boat launch here, so that's why it's kind of lower, packed down. But no boats being launched today. Now, I have been here before when the river was frozen solid. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm shocked with how cold it's been with sub-zero temps that it's not frozen yet all the way across. It's also a beautiful bridge as well. I've ridden across that on my e-bike. I believe it's a 4-lane road. It does connect Kingston and Wilkes-Barre. And it's nice down here because for the boat ramp or boat launch area, they have a parking lot. And as you can see, some benches over there, some benches over here. Now you can't really tell from here, but we're actually looking at something that I filmed several years ago on 2 different occasions. I'm going to show you where it is. So if you look straight across, the little bridge there, there's a brick building directly behind it. If you look just above the brick building, there's little tiny points or spires. Well, that is the location of the old Iram Temple. That was abandoned at one time. Did a complete walkthrough. Fantastic location. Huge theater in there. And still standing today. I believe it is undergoing restoration, but that's where it is, right over there. Also, from where we came from, which was the Francis E. Walter Dam, it's actually about 5 degrees warmer here. It was about 22 there and rather windy and breezy. And here it's close to 28. Slight breeze. It's like a lot of people have been coming down here exploring this for themselves. And this is as far as I'm going. But down here you can really see the buildup of ice. It's like a rocky landscape. At some point this is all gonna thaw, break off into big chunks, turn into floating icebergs, and probably create some ice jams. It's quite a sight to take in though, just to know that a few short months ago, and then a few short months from here, people will be launching their boats, doing some fishing. But today, it's a frozen landscape due to these incredible winter conditions we've been having with well over a foot of snow on the ground and temperatures averaging just above zero. I do have, I believe, one more location in mind. We're gonna head there. There may or may not be something to see. If not, we'll head to a plan B location, but rest assured, we have one more location to go to show you what the landscape and area is like during these conditions. Welcome to our fourth location, Pittston, Pennsylvania, home of the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Regional Railroad Station, and also home to a rare sight, operating wigwags. Absolutely love those. I came here because, well, I wanted to show you that for railroads, it's business as usual despite the conditions. It is snowy, it's cold, it's icy, but business has to continue, both passenger and freight. This is a great place to come to because you get to experience both passenger and freight trains here. And there's a waiting locomotive sitting over here behind you guys, which is for the PIFF, Pittston Fast Freight. We have some locomotives staging over here for some switching. And on weekends, you get to see either RDCs or full-fledged trains departing from the station, heading to Jim Thorpe and returning in the evening time. So even though conditions are sub-zero at times, there's over a foot of snow on the ground, the railroads don't stop. They keep moving. So I'm just gonna give you a few sights, show you what's going on here, and maybe we'll get some action. And all you hear is just idling diesels. Those are running over there. I believe there's one or two running over there, and one or two running over here. So it's like stereo sound of diesel locomotives. And along with the sound is the smell. Diesel's in the air. If you ever get the chance to do so, I highly recommend taking the train from here to Jim Thorpe. It leaves every weekend. They also offer some special excursions too, like with Santa, fall foliage, and even some RDC runs that depart from the station on the weekends. They leave about 8:45. They do make a stop in Mountaintop, Penobscot Mountain, and also Whitehaven, and then arrive in Jim Thorpe roughly 11 a.m. And you get several hours there, departs around 4 p.m., gets back here after 6. It's a nice scenic ride. You don't have to worry about parking. You just park here in the lot and enjoy a leisurely train ride by Reading and Northern. Highly, highly recommend it. I've done it a few times already, and I'll be doing it a few more. And when you're here, beware of falling snow. Now, aside from being known as the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Regional Railroad Station, this is also known as the Pittston Yard and former Coxton Yard. And the main yard is actually down in that direction. There's a bridge that goes over the river, and the main yard is back there. Numerous lines. There's actually remnants of an old turntable and roundhouse back there. And I showed a picture of that when I was documenting something on the other side of the river just recently along Route 92 of a former train bridge that used to connect the LV over here to the yard. The bridge is no longer there. It was removed several years ago. So kind of in relation as to where we were recording just a few weeks ago on the other side of the river over there. And in case you didn't know, they actually have a webcam You can watch the train action right here on the platform. If you look at the rails though, you can see where the guard kind of plowed a bit right in the middle there. Doesn't really matter if it's clear in the middle, just mainly where the flanges would be for the wheels next to the rails. So that's the only important part that they need to be concerned about. Now here's an inside tip. If you ever do want to come here and film some train action for yourself, there's 2 trains you could film on these specific days and times. The first one, which I mentioned earlier, is the passenger excursions. They leave every Saturday and Sunday at 8:45 in the morning. You may catch RDCs, you may catch the F units, you may catch some traditional diesels, maybe even a steam locomotive in the future. But leaves here, arrives in Jinthorpe just after 11 a.m., leaves Jinthorpe a little bit around 4, a little bit after 4 I should say, gets back here 6:30. So that route between here and Jinthorpe, there's plenty of opportunities to catch passenger excursions on the weekend. If you want to catch freight trains, specifically those locomotives right there, that's part of the PIFF, which I mentioned earlier, Pittston Fast Freight, which was former NRFF, North Reading Fast Freight. Usually have anywhere from 4 to 5, I think I've even seen 6 locomotives pulling the freight trains at any given time. They operate 6 days a week. They depart here nightly at 7 p.m. They take the same route that the passenger excursion takes, going through Jinthorpe all the way to Reading. So if you do want to catch freight action, catching it here on the way to Jinthorpe is a great way to do so. And you know it's dedicated 6 days a week, leaving here 7 p.m. each and every night. It looks like a crew change is going on, so I don't think we're going to catch any rail action except for what we caught earlier when I arrived here. They were staging the locomotives, the wigwags were going off, but other than that, it seems pretty quiet. Doing some maintenance on the 5020 over there. But beyond that though, you may catch train action coming from the Taylor yard of the YJPI or PISB. That does usually run almost daily in the morning and afternoon, so it's always a good time to come here, see what's going on. You may or may not catch some action, but at the very least, there's usually staged equipment around the yard here you can get some pictures of. Well, I guess there's not going to be any more trains coming, but at the very least we did catch the wigwags in action, so I can't complain about that. There's definitely more or other locations I could have taken you to show you how conditions are, but I wanted to take you to places I've been to before that we typically don't see like this, under over a foot of snow, and where temps have been below freezing for pushing a month now, because it's not all that common. Although Pennsylvania winters can be brutal, prior ones haven't been like this. This one we're really getting hit pretty hard with snow and cold temperatures. So the downfall is that these conditions make it nearly impossible for me to go out and do my normal videos of hunting for ruins of railroad, mining, or abandoned places, because everything's buried. So I'm kind of forced to adapt and get creative and take you some other places or do other things I don't normally get the opportunity to do because of the conditions like this. So it is miserable at times, but it's also beautiful and unique and interesting, and allows you to see how landscapes and environments and even certain businesses are adapting through the harsh, brutal winter here in 2026. And even here on Groundhog's Day, Punxsutawney Phil did see a shadow, but even if he didn't, well, the calendar still states winter's going to continue for several more weeks, and we always know that March is a wild card for winters. It could be an early spring, or it could be a blast of a blizzard like we had in 93 and 96. So I don't see the snow going away anytime soon, but once it is gone, I will be doing my best to kind of capitalize on the moments between when the snow is gone and when the foliage grows in to get some more videos done. They have to get done during this time of year, otherwise they'll just get pushed ahead till next year. By all means, would love to hear your thoughts on what was your favorite location that you checked out with me today, and hope you appreciate the effort of me going to these different locations, just showing you different scenery, different environments, different landscapes. If you happen to be in a location similar to this where it's snow covered and really cold, let me know how you and the area around you is surviving. But most importantly, thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to stay warm, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.